Hello everybody, today I'm going to be finishing up the last in the Shaman line of videos that I've been doing recently. This will be an epic quest. The reward from this quest will of course get you an ornamentation that you can put on any primary weapon. It'll make it look like your 1.0, 1.5, or 2.0. Today we'll be doing the 1.5 version. And it all starts with Lady Carolline of Thex in Felwithe. So here we are, and you need to tell her I have an interesting tale to tell, and she will grant you the quest. This quest requires you to go to 15 separate locations and then go to the Emerald Jungle where this quest begins. I will try to post a link to my video showing you the 15 prior locations you need to go to. So what you want to do is come to the Emerald Jungle right outside the City of Mist entrance. And as you can see, you'll get a text popping up on screen. And what you want to do is look for a wisp. So there's the wisp. And you just go and follow exactly where he is. And as soon as you reach him, you'll get another emote. A flicker of light appears before you, insubstantial and weak, whispering without a voice, and the light is gone. A dim apparition appears along the road to the north. So at this point I was having some issues because I couldn't exactly find where the north was, so I had to go into the options and load up my compass. And as soon as I loaded up my compass, I got this emote about sensing something in a certain direction. So I'm assuming you need your compass up when you do this. Okay, so even with the compass up, I was having some problems finding exactly where the wisp was. I think it has something to do with the amount of just clutter that's on the screen. There's trees, and there's mobs, and there's shrubs, and bushes, and roadways. So I just kept going in the direction it told me to. And then when I thought I was getting too far out of where I was supposed to be, I would just stop and turn around. And eventually I would see the emote pop up about sensing something in a certain direction, like right now. So we'll follow the wisp. You can see it in the distance. So then some more text will pop up. As you approach the flickering light, a feeling of warmth overcomes your being, like a tugging at your incorporeal senses. A small voice calls, you reach out a hand, and the light is gone. There's a small gust that seems to urge you to the north of the broken road. So I'm looking around, trying to face north. And I think at this point I just followed the road that was in front of me. So pull up the map. And I'm the green arrow right on the edge of the road, the one that you see moving. I think this was the most confusing part of the quest, just trying to follow the wisp around. I think it would have been easier if this was any place other than the Emerald Jungle. But I can understand from a lore perspective, because the 1.5, 1.0, those quests are heavily involved with being in the EJ. So as you can see, eventually I got an emote to go in this direction, so we'll go there and see what happens. So we're going up towards the lake area. So as you approach, an emote pops up on screen. You watch as a light flickers as if it is struggling against a great weight. Its voice murmurs about you, pleading, asking you to see. The light vanishes, leaving a faint trail leading north to the lake. So we'll go north to the lake. And we will see. So I think when I got up here, I didn't see anything happen for a while. It's just a lot of wandering around, waiting for the next emote to come up. Okay, so there's something in this direction. Oh, there's the wisp. So then you struggle to listen to the voice above the din of the jungle life. It seems to gather itself a moment, and then a shrill cry echoes in your mind. See. Across the lake, you spy the outline of two figures. So we have to find Thalger and his pet across the lake. And he's kind of hard to see, but he's here somewhere. Here's an XR camp. And I believe there's some kind of quest mob over in this direction. It's interesting sometimes looking up what these other mobs are for. These quest mobs that just sit around. But we're not looking for him today. We need Thalger and his pets. It's times like these when it's helpful to have a druid alt, because druids can track and they can teleport you. So they have a teleport right here to the Emerald Jungle, and if I can't find Thalger, I'll have to use my druid to track. Oh, there he is. So now you have to go through some dialogue with him. And here's a location of exactly where he is, so you don't have to wander around like I did. Okay, at this point, you talk to Thalger, and there's a lot of dialogue to go through. So I will put the dialogue up on the screen. After you say, "I will help you," make sure to target a spirit wolf. Just when that part comes up, make sure that you equip your 1.5 as well, because you'll need to fight the spirit wolf. And having the 1.5 in your primary does extra damage to the wolf. So say the words "help me," and any second the wolf will attack. So there's a spirit wolf. And after the dialogue was done, I targeted him. And I think what I did was I attacked him first. I casted a spell on him. So at this point I was trying to see if he attacked me or if I would like be the first to get aggro from him. I wasn't sure what was going on. So after a very long time, you'll finally get an emote. So there's emote. Okay, so at this point I knew I'd have to fight the wolf, so I got my mercenary out. And what I should have done was use a healing mercenary and just had me tank him, but all I had was warrior mercenary up. Or I could have had my pet tank him, but the spirit wolf seems to have done a lot of damage to both the mercenary and my pet. But when he was attacking me, he didn't seem to do much at all. And like I said, I had to attack him first. So I'll attack him here in a second. At this point I was just trying to figure out what exactly I was going to do, because I assumed he was going to aggro me right away, but he didn't. So I had to aggro him first. And right now I have my 1.5 equipped and I'm just meleeing him. So he actually killed my mercenary pretty quick. And at this point, if you're like a lower level, you may want to bring some help with you, because I think I came close to maybe dying, but I think I healed myself a couple times. My shaman here is level 85, so the wolf didn't seem to do as much damage to me as he did to my pet and the mercenary. If you're like level 105, I don't even think you would need to have the extra help from equipping your epic, but I don't know. So he will die soon. There he goes, there's his corpse. So now you move on to the next step. The wolf raises its head as if to howl. Black smoke pours out of its mouth and eyes as its form fades from view. Your weapon is stained with blood. Thalger's image shimmers. You feel a great tearing as the small voices cry out in dismay. So at this point, you have to start the ritual. You see wrongness. At this point, you're supposed to type in stop. And I don't know if it was a bug or if I just wasn't quick enough, but I typed in the word stop and the ritual just kept going. So like I said, I don't know if this is bugged or if I just wasn't fast enough. But I sat here for a while. I thought that I would just be in this step forever. So I think what I'll do is just fast forward it a bit, because this just goes on for like 5 or 10 minutes. So hold on. Okay, here we are back, and after looking over the video again, I think the write-up that I was reading on this quest was wrong, because I had to go over to Thalger, hail him, and then type in the word stop. So then now a risen host will appear. Okay, so yeah, Thalger dies, and then you'll get an emote. The risen host appears. So just make sure to go up to Thalger and just hail him and then say the word stop. I think that's the mistake I had made. And this risen host will just go through a lot of dialogue, and then eventually you'll have to fight him. So here I fast forwarded again, because it was like 3 minutes of just dialogue. So decided just to skip all that and go right to the fight. So he'll start attacking you. The way to win this fight is pretty interesting, because you have to use cannibalize on yourself. The lore behind this fight makes it clear that your health is linked, so the way to beat him and to defeat him is to defeat yourself, so you have to canny yourself to death. And since I'm new to the Shaman class, I was relying on my AA ability for canny, so it has like a 2-minute recast time. And I apologize for not knowing the class better, because I think there's a spell you can use as well. So this part would have gone a lot faster, so I think I'm going to fast forward this part again. Okay, I'm back, and as you can see, his name turned. He's now a dissolving body. This happens the more you use cannibalize. So eventually you'll get an emote where he wants to stop the fight. And we'll finish him off here with one last canny. So as you can see, I cannied myself to death. And a new emote will start. So you find yourself in a familiar yet altogether novel state of being, a physical loss, and a spiritual awakening. You peer down to find the remains of your former self, and then look up to see the true form of being whose physical body you severed from existence. So at this point, you need to go up to the spiritual remains and melee him. And you have to be quick about it. I almost ran out of time here because I wasn't quite sure what I had to do. So just go up to him and just press attack. Okay, at this point, you are pretty much done with the quest. There's just a lot of dialogue to go through now. So we'll just let the dialogue run itself out here. I guess you're rescued by these two elves. So then when you see the broken arrow in brackets, just type out broken arrow and the quest should be pretty much complete. You might have to have Rogash targeted when you type it out. Rogarsh. These names are hard to pronounce. That's the biggest problem with all my videos. I can never pronounce a lot of these names. Okay, so then you sit up and you're ready to go back to Felwithe for the final hail. Always make sure that all 15 are complete, or all 16 I should say, for an epic request. And then make your way back to Felwithe and Lady Carolline. So here we are in Felwithe for the final hail. And I hope everybody found this helpful. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Thanks for watching, everybody.